Hey guys, it's Black Levi here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the new FC IQ system that's coming to FC 25, and as well we're going to be looking at player roles and their modifiers called focus. So without any further delay, let's get into it. Before we dive into the technical details, let's first understand what FC IQ means and how it will affect your gameplay going into FC 25. FC IQ is a new core technical and positional system that redefines how we approach tactics and positioning. This means more realistic movements and a greater variety of playstyles. The system is built on three core components: player roles, team tactics, and smart tactics. However, some elements have been removed or replaced entirely. Notably, the center forward, left wing back, and right wing back positions have been removed. Work rates are gone. Player instructions are a thing of the past. Player roles guide how your player thinks, behaves, and moves off the ball. Every position, from goalkeepers to strikers, has specific roles and focuses that dictate player behavior. With a total of 31 roles and 1 to 3 focuses each, that gives you 52 unique combinations for creative gameplay. Think of player roles like this. Hypermotion V captures unique player movements, overall represents physical and mental attributes, and playstyles showcase on-the-ball skills. Player roles, however, define off-the-ball abilities. Player roles are position-based, meaning each player has access to the roles for their specific position, with varying variety levels indicated by a plus or plus plus. These roles impact both attacking and defending phases, and each role is distinct with its own pros and cons. Even similar roles like a CM playmaker and a CAM playmaker differ in focus and positioning. Here are some key elements you should familiarize yourself with before we begin. Activity maps. These will show where your player will be playing, moving, or will be during gameplay, reflecting their roles in both attacking and defending. Characteristics. Each role plus focus has 4 points, highlighting 2 positives, 1 neutral, and 1 negative aspect. So, let's start with the strikers. There are exactly 4 roles a striker can play. First, we have target focus. Your player will act as an attacking outlet using their physicality to shield the ball. Think of Romelu Lukaku. The focuses are wide, where your player will drift to the edge of the box; balanced, holds up play and supports defensively; and attack focuses solely on attacking. Our second role is the advanced forward. Here, the player will be more versatile and stays up close to the defensive line. A good example is Kai Havertz. The focuses is complete, where your player moves wide to create space, and attack, where your player will focus on scoring opportunities. Our third role is poacher. This player primarily focuses on scoring. An example is Erling Haaland. The focus for this role is attack, where the player will lurk off the defensive line for chances. Lastly, we have false 9. This player will drop deep to dictate play. A good example is Gabriel Jesus. And the focus for this role is build up, where the player will operate as a playmaker. Wingers will share the same roles, but the only difference will be in their movement. The first role is inside forward. Here, the player will cut inside to either shoot or assist, like Vini Jr. Focuses is roaming, where the player will explore defensive gaps. Balanced offers limited defensive support, and attack focuses on attacking runs. Our second role is winger, where the player will stay wide, providing flank support. An example is Gabriel Martinelli. The focuses for this role are attack, where the player will make runs behind the defense, and balance to support both attacking and defending. The last role is wide playmaker. Here, your player will act as a creative outlet on the wing, like Bernardo Silva. The focus for this role is attack, and your player will move to receive passes out wide. In the cam position, we have 3 roles. The playmaker, where your player will be the midfield's creative mastermind. The focus is roaming, where the player explores the pitch for optimal positions. And balance, where the player offers defensive support when needed. Then we have the half winger, which will provide width and moves along the flanks. The focuses for this role is balanced, where your player will alternate between attacking and defending, and attack, where your player will focus solely on advancing. Lastly, we have the shadow striker, where the player attacks from behind the strikers. And the focus for this role is attack, where your player makes late runs into the box. For our center mid positions, we have 5 roles. The playmaker. Similar to the cam, they create attacking opportunities, and their focuses are roaming, where your player will explore the pitch to find the best spaces to support attacks, and attack, where your player will move forward to support attacks higher up the pitch. The half winger role is similar to the cam, where you will see your midfield provide width when your team has possession. And this role has 2 focuses. Balanced, where the half winger will alternate equally between attacking and defending in a measured way. And attack, where they will advance freely, sacrificing any defensive responsibilities. With the box-to-box role, your player will be involved in all phases of play. A good example of this is Fede Valverde. The focus for this role is balanced, where your player will cover both attack and defense. The holding role is defensive-minded, focusing on protecting the backline. And the focus for this role is defend, where your player will primarily be defensive. Last but not least, we have deep lying playmaker, key for build-up play, and a very good example will be Jorginho. The focus for this role is defend, where your player will stay back during attacks. For the CDM position, there are only 3 roles. The first role being holding. This player protects the backline, and the focus for this role is similar to that of the center mid. The deep lying playmaker, important for building up from the back, and again, the focus is similar to that of a CM. Lastly, we have the center half. This player will drop in between the center backs, and the focus for this role is defend, where your player will focus more on their defensive duties. The left and right back positions have 4 roles, which are fullback, where the player will prioritize defense. This role has 2 focuses. Balanced, where the fullback is granted more freedom to push slightly forward and wider to support in attacks. And defend, where the fullback will move inside to form a back 3 when your team has the ball. The false back role pushes your player up the field, adopting a central position. And the focuses for this are balanced, where your player will position themselves as a CM when your team is in possession, and defend, where your player will operate as a defensive midfielder when your team has the ball. Next up, we have the attacking wingback role. This player will focus more on attacking, and a very good example of this is Alphonso Davies. This role has 2 focuses. Attack, where your player will push even higher up the pitch and perform fewer defensive duties. And balance, where your player will rarely spring back to defend unless the team has been hit on a counter. Lastly, we have the wingback. This player is versatile in attack and defense. This role only has 1 focus, which is balanced, which will give freedom to your player to stay forward even when the team is out of possession, or drop back in defense when needed. Now, we shift our attention to center backs. This position only has 3 roles, and they are defender. This player excels at the basics of defending, including maintaining the defensive line. The focuses for this role are balanced, where the defender will step up to close down attackers when needed, and defend, where the defender will focus only on their defensive responsibility. Next up, we have the ball-playing defender. This player is comfortable with the ball at their feet, and a very good example is William Saliba. The focuses for this role are build-up. This will move the defender into more of a holding defensive midfielder during possession, and defend, where your player will step up a little to support teammates during possession. Lastly, we have stopper. This will encourage your player to be more aggressive when winning back the ball. A very good example of this is Antonio Rudiger. And the focus for this role is balanced, where your player will intercept passes and pressure attackers receiving the ball. Finally, we have the goalkeeper roles. The first one is goalkeeper. This refers to a traditional shot stopper. And the focuses are balanced, where the keeper will occasionally leave their area to collect long ball or loose balls. And defend, where the goalkeeper won't rush out to collect long or loose balls. Our second role is the sweeper keeper, a modern goalkeeper who supports in build-up. A good example is Manuel Neuer. This role only has one focus, which is balanced, and it will encourage your goalkeeper to leave their area to collect balls close to the penalty area. That's all I have for you today. I hope you found this breakdown of player roles in FC25 useful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more FC25 content. What role are you most excited to try out? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.